Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Dancing with the Stars Season 29 finale review. We've made it. We are at the end. I know that there was probably a really big party planned on Nelly's Nook where you were ready to, drop the mirror ball and confetti. Is that still happening?
We are very proud of Nelly and Nelly's Nook. He did great. He came into this competition with no experience at all, and he got 10 out of 10, 2 weeks in a row, landed in third. Very proud of him. And we got a really cool performance from him. Very happy.
There was some fun stuff in this finale. There were some good routines. I gotta say, in terms of results, I don't know how thrilling it was that, the same thing that probably a good percentage of the audience predicted preseason would happen did ultimately happen. Not exactly a win for the unpredictability of it all, but we'll still go through everything. And, before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy all of our various ravings about this episode.
Yeah, we also have Bachelorette coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so if you are a fan of Bachelorette and Your Part Bachelor Nation, you're really excited about Kaitlyn's win tonight, stick around with us because we have been talking about Tayshia for the past couple weeks. We were talking about Claire. That's coming up tomorrow night.
So Kaitlyn is our winner for season 29.
Yes,
and
she is.
Of course, I'm happy for her because I think she's wanted this for years. It kind of is just like a nice, I did it, and kind of just another nice reminder that for some stupid reason she was not allowed to do Dancing with the Stars for a really long time.
Yeah, she's a great winner. She's a great dancer, and I know that Carrie Ann was giving her a hard time in the middle, and I sort of wondered if she was doing that to try to build this underdog story with her, because she did come into the competition with dance experience. So there was a lot of people that were like, well, of course she's going to win. She's part of Bachelor Nation, really, really big voting base. Plus, it's on right now. Plus, she's incredible. So, this win, we could have all seen this miles away.
Here is my big problem with this win, and let me start this by saying none of this is Kaitlyn's fault, but it feels like basically the same exact story arc we had last season. Mm-hmm. We have a former Bachelorette competing on the show. At one point in the middle of the season, there's a controversy involving them and Carrie Ann over some of the criticism.
Yep.
They surge through it. They have a big voting block. They end up winning the season.
Yep.
I just feel like I've watched the same season, except this one did not have Kel Mitchell, and that disappoints me.
But it had Nelly, so it was even better.
Oh, I don't know about that, but you know what?
Oh, yes, it was.
I enjoyed Nelly. I think Kaitlyn is a very good dancer, but I do think this is the case moving forward. Unless you are bringing Chris Harrison onto this dance floor, because I will see Chris Harrison give out the final dance because he will not be dancing very long, I don't think. But maybe he would. I don't know. But you know what? Unless it's Chris Harrison, I don't want another Bachelor Nation person on the next Dancing with the Stars season.
No, I agree. It does feel like we just ended up sort of watching the same story unfold 2 seasons in a row with 2 different bachelorettes that were both deserving. I'm not here to take anything away from either of them. They are both really wonderful dancers, but it was the same sort of, they came in with experience, Carrie Ann gave them a hard time, sort of made them an underdog, and then they won. And so I don't want to watch that again the next time around. So we're good with that. Let's bring in just some different types of people, more like Nelly, who was somebody I never thought I would see on this show.
I am very happy for Artem, because Artem routinely over the years he gets paired with the Carol Baskins of the world, the people who are usually a little bit older, a little bit inexperienced, they can't move very well. Artem usually gets hosed when it comes to some of his partners.
Yep.
He got a great partner. They had a good partnership. I'm very happy that he gets to have the mirror ball. But I will say this. This is going to be hard. I'm going to take my love of Nelly and your love of Nelly out of this for just a second.
Okay.
I think Nev actually deserved to win more than anybody else.
Okay, listen, I'm going to take that. I understand Nelly deserved to win. I'm going to say that out there. That is how I feel, because he was the only person who was in this finale that came into this competition with no experience. He was a complete beginner. And for me, I love this competition when we have people who are complete beginners and then end up with 10 out of 10. And in the finale, that growth is so enjoyable for me to watch. That being said, if we are just going on, came into the competition with some sort of dancing ability and just, continue to be amazing, then yes, Nev was amazing. And he was amazing from his first step on there. They're really pushing this he needs to be on Broadway thing. And he really does, as long as you don't stop doing catfish.
I was waiting for that to come in there at some point.
Because I really like that show. And I feel like Nev, I know you're watching this, I feel like Nev, you can do both. You can do a stint on Broadway and you can also continue to call out the catfish for me.
Maybe there are some ballet dancers out there in need of Nev services, and maybe we can have like a crossover in that way. I do love that they actually threw ballet performers in the here are some messages from your family. It's like, this isn't Nev's family, but you know what, you guys, also, I'm pretty sure that Nev's co-hosts on Catfish are also not his family. But
yeah, and I mean, I hope that we get to see something with him that is more theater related. He really does have a natural talent for it. And that's not saying everyone who practices for their whole lives to be on Broadway should be kicked off for Nev. But I would like to see a little more of that with Nev. It's cool.
And I was watching the repeat dances in the first half of the show, and I was just sitting here being like, I don't think I gave Nev's whole Swan Lake dance enough credit because I think that is the best dance of the entire season.
Yeah, you were saying that you were unfamiliar with it, and I get that. I really like Black Swan. I thought that movie was awesome, and I thought that dance was incredible. And second time around, just as gorgeous. He really is the best dancer in the competition besides Nelly.
Nelly was
I'm kidding. No, Nev really is the best dancer in this competition.
I was rooting for Nelly. On a personal level, I wanted Nelly for you. It was like how you wanted Kel for me, and it's just I think that Nelly, he did really, really well. I knew when they started putting him at the start of the performance order on the show tonight, and they gave him the 9s when everybody else got the 10s. Yeah. It's like, they got it out for Nelly tonight. They do not want Nelly to win this show.
Yeah, I mean, that first performance wasn't a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to pretend that it was. But that second performance was amazing. And then he also got to perform on the show. I actually thought that they were setting up for him to win because he is a true underdog story. Like I said, Kaitlyn came in with experience and then they're trying to make her an underdog. She was never an underdog. She was always excellent. And that's okay. I mean, Nev was excellent all the way through as well. He didn't need the underdog story. Neither did Kaitlyn. But Nelly was a true underdog, no experience, 10 out of 10 in the finale. That is really cool. I actually thought that the show was like, this would be really awesome because we don't really get to have rappers on the show very often. We don't get to have rappers on the show that are like this.
No.
That are actually able to go from like, hey, I'm just here, I don't know anything, to 10 out of 10 jives.
It's true. And I did think going into the show, maybe they would try to lean more into Nelly than they ultimately did. I'm guessing they didn't want another situation where people are yelling at them, it should be about the dancing, when really, yes, you do want a winner of Dancing with the Stars who is good, and Nelly is good.
Well, that's it. It is about the dancing, and that's part of it. If you want it to be about just professionals or people with dance experience coming onto the show, then make it that is a requirement. Everyone must have dance experience, but you can't penalize people for coming on the show that are beginners and started out rough because they're just learning and then they're getting to the point that they're getting perfect scores. It's not like he came in and he was mediocre and he was mediocre all the way to the finale. That didn't happen.
Yeah, he had some memorable moments. And, if Nelly won, Nelly was not Spicer. Like, Nelly could, legitimately dance and move around. And I think that's what made this finale fun. Plus, the freestyles, they're my favorite part of the season.
Yeah, Justina's freestyle. Man, that was so good. I loved everything about it. She's just a ball of energy, and that dance was awesome.
I loved Neves. Like, Neves is my number one freestyle. Justina's is probably my second.
It was so good. That singing in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There was a moment there at first when it was like, are they actually getting rained on? They are actually getting rained on. This is incredible.
It was just so, there was just such like I don't even know the word. It was just so debonair. Like, it was so classy and so cool. And it was just, it made me want to party with Neve once all of this is over and we can actually party with people again. But like, I had so much fun watching him, and I felt like he was enjoying it so much too. Who doesn't want to sort of turn into like that sort of Fred Astaire type every now and then? And unfortunately, I cannot dance like that, but it's fun to live vicariously through Neve in that routine.
Yeah, everything he does just feels timeless. Like, he's just graceful, timeless, beautiful. He is a storyteller. Like, he really did deserve to win this show in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to take anything away from Kaitlyn because she is a beautiful dancer. Like, I was really glad that she redid Toxic, even though it was a more recent dance.
Yeah.
I loved that dance. So to have it come back again, I was like, okay, I'm really glad she picked this.
Yeah, it was a really cool routine the first time. It was fun the second time. If there's one little bone to pick dance-wise, I don't think any freestyle was as memorable as Kel's last year. Like, Kel's freestyle, and I'm not just trying to get back into Kel's corner when you're removed. But
you are, because you got kicked out of every other corner you started this year with the tree house and the Vernon sermon, and you weren't part of Nelly's Nook because you were going to jinx us.
Did you see Vernon with the hair in the past? Vernon is still delivering for me beyond the Dancing with the Stars grave. He's still bringing in the gold. Thank you,
Vernon's
Vernon.
Great.
I appreciate you. Yes, it is true that I did not pick good dancers to win this season. However, Kel, you would have won this season if you were on it.
Goodness.
I believe in you.
Out.
See,
you can see yourself out.
If there's ever another All-Stars, no, I'm joking. But, the other thing, as I'm sort of looking big picture at this season, I think they did a really good job of casting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this cast. I mean, yeah, of course they threw on Carol because they wanted to have somebody controversial like they did every year, but at least it wasn't somebody who was political. But I could have done without Carol. I would have just liked to have had her replaced with another sort of fun dancer who's like maybe another beginner.
Yeah, like a comedian or somebody who's just going to be like really goofy or what, like that to me, that's the one thing I felt like I missed this season a lot. And I mean, some of that I guess is probably not having Tom on board anymore. But I think the other part of it is I wanted more people who would kind of like screw around with the judges or like goof off in the packages. And like, I wanted just a little bit more of that energy.
Yeah, going forward, I really hope they will do this, but I know that they won't. I would like them to drop the controversial people. Just drop it.
Yeah.
This show is not here for that. You don't need to like draw in the viewers by having someone like Carol on the show. People will watch. Just bring in good dancers that get people excited, that get people talking about it. That will happen. You guys brought in a whole new audience with people like Nelly. Like, go in that direction.
I think there's obviously a Tyra conversation to be had.
Yes, there is.
We have seen a lot of comments about it. I will say this. I do think she's better now than she was at the start of the season. Like, I think she's figured some things out. She's still, not to me, the perfect host for this show. I want somebody who's a little bit goofier, who sort of does things on the fly and is a little bit more unexpected. But I'm not going to sit here and say that, Tyra was just like a complete dumpster fire at the end of it or anything. Like,
At the end of it.
She was maybe had some bad moments early on, but...
Maybe?
Okay, yes. She had some bad moments early on.
Listen, we're going to be honest with you guys. She had so much trouble early on. And I say as someone who really likes Tyra in general. I used to watch America's Next Top Model all the time. I really liked her on that show. And so very disappointed that we lost Tom and Aaron, but I was like, okay, I really like Tyra over on this other show. She's got like 2 decades worth of hosting experience. I'm going to give her a chance and see what she does, because she is somebody that I'm familiar with, that I like. And with all that experience, what could go wrong? And it's just, this was not the right fit for her. And I don't know if it's the live aspect to it. And then also some mistakes came in that weren't her fault. Then there were some mistakes that would come in with that were her fault, where she'd be like, in no particular order, the last person eliminated is. It's just something wasn't working for her with this.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, to me, it's just sort of figuring out what you want the tone to be. And I think she got more open and more comfortable as the season went on, but it's still not necessarily the Dancing with the Stars that I kind of know and I kind of remember. And that's somebody who just kind of goes with the flow a little bit more. And I think for Tyra, it was just too much. I got to hit like this part of the show. It was a lot very regimented. And I think with Tom, and this is one of the things that makes Tom so underrated, is it's just kind of effortless to him. Like, you never really feel like he's scripted or like everything's plotted out, when really it is.
Yeah, and the other thing that I can do without is all the outfit changes and this turning more into a fashion show for her. And I wonder if this is actually the producers kind of pushing this on her, because I've seen her do other stuff where this isn't happening, and they may have just been like, oh my goodness, we have Tyra, she's a supermodel, we got to put her in all the biggest, craziest costumes we can, these beautiful dresses, and she looks dynamite all the time. But because we know that she's fashion, she's model, they're going to put her in all this sort of haute couture type stuff that she's coming out in. It is taking away the focus of the dancers when she's coming down this, like she's coming down a runway with the newest fashion on, where all of a sudden I'm sort of transported out of the show, where I'm like, wow, Tyra looks amazing. Look at this dress. Look at this catwalk. I'm watching America's Next Top Model again. Here we are. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, right, I'm actually watching Dancing with the Stars. So it doesn't fit.
The last thing I will say
for me
is that, I did miss Len. And I understand why Len wasn't on this season. It was a safety issue. He lives overseas. But it's not even that Derek was bad, because I think Derek did exactly what Derek was brought in to do. It's just, I miss the moments where, like, Lynn gets really cranky about something and, like, starts, like, tearing into one of the bros, and the bros start, like, fighting with him, and then he's, like, going back and forth with Bruno. It's just, I think a show like this needs a cranky old man who gets upset when the rules are being broken. And, I don't want 4 judges, but maybe can we at least have like a week or 2 of Lynn moving forward, where he just goes in and is Mr. Cranky Pants all over everybody.
Yeah, we did miss having that. I mean, Carrie did a really good job of being sort of more picky on things, and she is normally pretty good at pointing that stuff out.
Yeah.
But it almost felt like she was like, okay, Len's not here. Somebody needs to fill that seat, and I'm already somebody who will point out things. I'm just going to extra point out things because, you've got Derek, who's very positive, and he just really loves being there. He loves dancing so much. He's a guy who's not gonna sit there. He'll give like constructive criticism, but he's not gonna give a lot of it. Bruno, same thing. He's very positive. He'll give you a little bit of criticism, and then he'll pour some sugar on it to make sure that you can take it. Carrie Ann doesn't do that. She will push you hard to get the best out of you, and Len is that guy who will fight with everybody.
Dancing with the Stars, if you ever get rid of Bruno, I will be so mad you won't even know where to... Bruno gave us quite possibly the greatest criticism in Dancing with the Stars history when he told Billy Ray Cyrus that he danced like a drunken bear lost in the woods. So I can never, ever lose Bruno. But anyway, what did you guys think about this finale? Are you happy for Kaitlyn? Do you think that I can dance better than a drunken bear lost in the woods? Not that this is about me or anything.
Are you sad that Nelly didn't win? No more Nelly's Nook. It is closed.
Until All Stars. I don't know if they're ever going to do that again. But anyway, let us know what your thoughts on... let us know your thoughts on this finale below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further by checking those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.